What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OG GM, coming to you live from a rainy Site B yet again, and I'm joined by Steve the Cat. He is on the table, so you might get a picture of him before the run is over. It is Monday. It is the 13th day of March 2023, and it is raining yet again here at Site B. We had like 5 minutes of spring, but now we're back. And it is time to take a look at all the tabletop role-playing game bundles. That's right. It's time to take a look at all the freebies, bundles, humble bubbles, and charity bundles that are available this week. And as usual, I will point out the ones that I think are worth it. And we've got 2 real big ones that I'm really excited about. Well, 3. And then, of course, we've also got the charity bundles. Now, as usual, when I talk about these, remember they are PDFs unless I specifically say otherwise. And since we are dealing with computer media like PDF, if you do download any of these, please check them for viruses and malware. And again, even though I know I'm going to get in trouble for this sooner or later, in regards to the charity bundles, if there's a charity you want to donate money to, like Primetime Sports Camp, maybe just give the money directly to the charity unless the bundle is something you really, really feel you need. Because remember, the charities only get a small percentage of the total bundle, and they don't get it right away. So if you feel you want to donate $10 to Save the Whales, maybe just give the money directly to. Though we do have 2 charity bundles I kind of recommend, but whatever. All right, let's take a look first with the freebies. The following are all going to be available on Drive-Thru RPG, unless I say otherwise. Starting from Ordo Acronomenon, we have Opus Magi, a Cepheus engine urban fantasy game with 13 new ways to do magic in urban fantasy using the Cepheus engine. From Ethan H. Reynolds, we have a 1-page crawl about a resurrection of the Guild of Rogues. So it looks like this is a D&D D20 type fantasy adventure dealing with thieves. Steve, what are you doing besides destroying my house? From Aiden Young Games, we have the Age of Adventure RPG Player Companion and the Age of Adventure RPG Game Mechanics Companion. This is a lasers and feeling hack released last month that deals with, I don't know, Age of Adventure, so pulp. I'm pretty sure there already is an Age of Adventure role-playing game. That is, in fact, yeah, there is. I'm looking right at it, so you might get in trouble. But I don't know. We don't have any description of what this is other than it's using lasers and feelings, and it's called Age of Adventure. We have Icarus Games gives us Session 0 guide, because apparently now they feel you need a guide to come up with your Session 0. Because, you can't be trusted to just on your own to come up with a guide of how everybody's going to agree upon what we're going to do at the game. Now we've got to give you a book because, remember, we don't trust you and you might be problematic. From Mork Borg, we have a new class called Venerable Hunter. So I guess it's about a hunter class for Mork Borg. From Foxwood Games, we have Swords in the Deep, an RPG inspired by Diablo, World of Warcraft, and Dragon Age Origins. It's a public beta soft launch. From Joseph Kellogg, we have Aces High, an adventure for your favorite post-apocalypse sci-fi 2D20 game. It's Fallout, but you can't say Fallout legally, but it's for Fallout. So this looks like a 2D20 post-apocalypse game that's sort of built around the 2D20 Fallouts. Pretty sure Modifius has an open, or if they don't, they will. And it's called Aces High. There is a book called Aces High, but, be careful. And also that book's like 80,000 years old. We have 2 adventures for Cyborg. The first one is called Dead Man's Switch, about a Ripper Doc that is good receiving messages from the dead. And the second one, we have a Back Rooms, which pits punks against an assassin attempting to infiltrate liminal space. So both of these with a vaguely supernatural theme for some cyborg action. There's an animation pack available from Forgotten Adventures for VTT, which has gotten 7 unique animations with variations like burning fire, flies, falling leaf. A lot of these have burning fire. Almost every VTT animation pack I've seen, at least one of them is fire. I guess everybody just loves the animation of fire. Over at DM's Guild, we have an adventure for 5th to 8th level D&D characters called the Cult of Malagasium, where you fulfill the dying wish of a monk to go to an old temple and find out what's going on. From Scott Eubanks, we have some new rules for long rests, so you can role play during your long rests, because, up to now people haven't done that, I guess. Long rest has been around since 2014. At least one long rest happens per game session. This guy now feels he needs in 2023 to create rules for how you can role play during the long rest section, instead of just letting people say, hey, we're taking a long rest in this room. This is what I'm going to memorize. You're going to heal him. And let's talk about what went wrong. And dude, come on. From Christopher Hamill, we have Dark Lairs, which is a expansion on the ecology of Dungeons and Dragons Munchers. Like, how do you defeat an owlbear? Where do owlbears live? What are cubs of owlbears look like? So apparently somebody's trying to milk the owlbear love, since owlbears are the token of so much controversy right now, thanks to the movie. This guy's like, hey, let's make an owlbear cookbook. And he's charging you money for it. Well, actually, it's free. You could just go over to Big Geek Emporium and pick up my Monster zines, $2 a pop, which include rules of stuff like that. Gadget Blanchard, really your name is Gadget, has a rule set on death and diving to provide a narrative and mechanics for death saving throws. Rather than just the normal D20 roll, this guy wants to add role-playing rules to death now as well. Hannibals has presented a anthropomorphic cow race called the Moomin for 5e, because your anthropomorphic nonsense isn't enough in 5e. Now we want the ecchi cowgirls in. And if you're not sure what I'm meaning when I'm talking about the ecchi cowgirls, just look up some of the VTuber cosplayers who do cow, and you'll see what I mean. Yeah, we're just going to walk away from that one. We've got a new selection of classes specific for dwarves for 5e from Bess Klein. Contains all sorts of new things for dwarves, including possibly dwarven magic. And we've got some more class options as usual over at DM's Guild. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 new subclasses up at DM's Guild, as we do every week. So if you're looking for some new pizzazz to add to some of your favorite 5e characters, the usual collection of new ideas for subclasses is up, as it is every week on GM's Guild, if that's a thing you're interested in. But remember, before you introduce a brand new subclass that nobody's ever seen before, session 0, maybe make sure the DM's okay with it. Hey, can I bring in this? Well, it goes against everything we agreed upon in session 0, but what I will or will not have in my game. But sure. Moving on. Drive-Thru is still having their huge DM Day sale with discounts of over 72,000 titles. Many titles are up to 30% off. We've got so many good things on this sale. We've got rule books and starter adventures, a whole bunch of OSR stuff, a whole bunch of third-party stuff, a whole bunch of stuff for different games like Traveler and Savage Worlds, and all sorts of, all to celebrate the March 8th, which was, as you know, Gary Gygax's day and stuff like that. So yeah. And we also have some VTT appreciation for GM Appreciation Day. Looks like Roll20 has marked down much of their VTT stuff, 30%. We've got a collection for maps from Grim Press. Includes cities, docks, stuff like that. He's charging $6 for this collection of maps, knowing full well you can get maps for free online. And then we've got 850 art and layout bundles, including templates, textures, art assets, and other layout assets for personal and commercial use. This is $21 again for stuff you could get free. And we've got four more maps for VTT. This is $6. These are maps of stuff like blimps, trains, vaguely 1920 themed around this one. Perfect for like Cthulhu or stuff like that. Again, $6 for maps. And if you want some more maps, we've also got some space opera themed maps, spaceships and stuff like that for $40. And then we have something called White Frank's Phase Rip PDF Bundle, a retro clone of the classic superhero RPG Marvel Superheroes, my favorite superhero role-playing game, Phase Rip Marvel. This guy's got it on drive-through. $30 is for the entire bundle. Gives you everything you need to make characters in his retro clone of Phase Rip. There are a few other Phase Rip retro clones out there, including one that's actually just called Phase Rip. And if you're interested in the Marvel superhero role-playing game, you should also just know that the entire collection of Marvel superhero stuff is available for free online on the Marvel Phase Rip superhero role-playing game fan site. So if you've ever wanted to get into the superhero role-playing game that I consider the best superhero role-playing game of all time, you can get it for free, or you can check out Frank's hack. Moving on to charities. We have a bundle for benefiting the family of Jonathan M. Thomas. I guess he's somebody who passed away. Includes 150 different products from over 100 publishers who have been, influenced by Mr. Thomas. Including Savage Worlds. Who is Jonathan M. Thompson? I don't know. I guess he was somebody that was involved with Pinnacle Entertainment. Yes? No? Anyone? Well, our condolences to the family of Jonathan M. Thompson, of course. We hope you all recover from this devastating loss soon. And if you want to help a family out, it's $25 for a ton of Pathfinder, a ton of Savage Worlds, and a ton of love for a family that is grieving the loss of a family member. Then we have the Solo But Not Alone Volume 3 bundle over on Itch.io. It's $10. It goes to support Jasper's Game Day. And this is 149 single-player tabletop role-playing game titles. Yeah. Steve Jackson has a huge GURPS bundle up again. This bundle was up at the beginning of the year. It went down. It's back. We've got two bundles of GURPS stuff. The first is the Combat Action GURPS bundle, including all the combat high-tech weapon books that they've made, like GURPS Martial Arts, which I wrote, GURPS Tactical Shooting, Gun Fu, GURPS Transhuman Space. So basically, it's a whole bunch of combat stuff for GURPS. That's $18. It goes to support Direct Relief. Then we've got the GURPS Super Bundles, which includes GURPS Supers, GURPS Super Powers, GURPS Powers Expansion, probably GURPS IST. Again, GURPS. I helped write GURPS Supers. So $10, Direct Relief. And speaking of Steve Jackson games, we also have the Advanced Fighting Fantasy collection up. Includes everything that was ever made for Advanced Fighting Fantasy. This is by Steve Jackson, the other Steve Jackson, and is based upon the popular, Advanced Fighting Fantasy set. This is $8, and it goes to support emergency services in Yorkshire. And then we have a second Advanced Fighting Fantasy Battle, which includes even more stuff for Advanced Fighting Fantasy, including adventures, expansions, all sorts of other stuff. $10 for this one. And this goes to support a charity called Kappa Feel, which I assume is a European charity. And they don't know that Kappa Feel is a term for somebody who's sexually assaulting somebody else. But Kappa Feel means you walk by somebody and grab their... Anyways, we've got a Shadowrun bundle from Catalyst Games. This is a Shadowrun 5e Mega Bundle. $18 is the most popular pledge. It goes to support food banks in the area and includes pretty much everything that has ever been made for Shadowrun. And then my bundle of the week, we have a bundle from Troll Lord Games, including a whole bunch of stuff for Castles and Crusades. 34 books and supplements. For those of you who were not lucky enough to take advantage of their big January take all our stuff for free mega bonanza, you can now get a 34 PDFs of Castles and Crusades stuff for $18. And this goes to support the Navy and Marine Corps Relief Society, Veteran Societies. So yeah, that's a good one. If you want to get the other fantasy game, one of the very first retro clones, the last game that Gary Gygax worked on, the game that many consider to be Gary Gygax's real legacy, as opposed to 5e, which Gary Gygax had nothing to do with. For $18, you can pick up 34 books for Castles and Crusades and support veteran relief. The ElfQuest bundle is still up. $18 gets you pretty much everything that's ever been made for ElfQuest. An amazing comic book from Richard and Wendy Penny. It was huge in the later half of the 80s where I went to college. Like everybody there talked about ElfQuest for some reason. There was multiple people doing ElfQuest role-playing games when the first or second year that I was there. So it's huge. Anyways, good. $18, and it goes to support various charities. The Fallout Wasteland Warfare is back on Humble Bumble. This is everything you need to play the Fallout Wasteland Warfare miniature game. $18 gets you everything you need other than the miniatures. Those you still have to make your own or find. And this goes to support Nature Conservatory. And that's it for all the bundles this week. Obviously, my biggies would be the Shadowrun bundle, the Trollord Games bundle, and the GURPS bundles. And only because it's GURPS books that I actually worked on. So, of course, GURPS Martial Arts has a special place in my heart. And definitely GURPS Supers has a special place in my heart because, all the work I did for GURPS Martial Arts and GURPS Supers. So yeah, if any of those bundles sound like something you are interested in, head on over to Drive-Thru or DM's Guild or Humble Bumble or Bundle of Holding and pick them up and support these charities. And as always, if you do download any of these, please check them for viruses and malware. And when donating to a charity, maybe just give the money directly to the charity instead of being third party. So yeah, there you go. If you appreciate this nonsense, let me know. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, please subscribe. Help me hit 1,300 subs by the end of the month, and we'll do something crazy, as we usually do. We already have something crazy. And if you're thinking you want to support a charity, maybe consider supporting me, because I'm a charity. Because, I'm charitable. I'm cute. Whatever. I need stuff. Oh, it's Cat Monroe. Cat Monroe is turning out to be one of my biggest fans. Hi, Cat Monroe. How are you? Well, of course you would own most of the GURPS superhero books, Cat Monroe. You're a superhero. So yeah, please like, please share, please subscribe, please support the OGGM Adventures by heading on over to my number one sponsor, Big Geek Emporium. Big Geek Emporium, if there's anybody on the earth that gives you more plugs than I do, please let me know. Big Geek Emporium, and pick up my merch. 8 episodes, 8 issues of Minions on a Mission, many of which this guy has picked up. And we might review one day this DM Kurt guy. DM Kurt, I am naming an NPC in my current project after you. I'm also naming one after you, Cat. Just live with that knowledge burning in the back of your brain that in issue number 9 of Minions on a Mission, there will be an NPC vaguely inspired by you. My most frequent commentators. You want to be a frequent commentator and be awesome like DM Kurt and Cat Monroe? Remember, all you have to do is subscribe to the OGGM Adventures. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps me immensely. Help me reach that 1,300 subs goal by April 1st. And remember, we're going to be making fun of the D&D movie on the last day of this month by watching the single greatest D&D movie ever made, Hawk the Slayer, 7 p.m. on the 31st of March. Going to be doing a Hawk the Slayer watch party. Till then, I am the OGGM. Stay safe, and I will talk to you all later. Get off my land.